there are so many memes where it's like, these are like far right memes, where there's like a blue-haired feminazi or whatever who's like, you're a feminist now, mister. You have to be soy and be fat and have man titties and blah. And then like some big Chad walks in with like huge muscles, and the feminazi's like, oh my God. And then like, take me now. You know what I mean? And I think one of the like one of the presuppositions that's necessary for you to have before that meme makes sense is the idea that a really like beefy masculine guy wouldn't be on the left. Like the idea is like the feminazi will feminize and castrate her own men, but still seek the like alpha Chad conservative. But why are they a conservative? I've met plenty of muscular leftists. I just think there needs to be a greater emphasis placed on the idea that the left is not a space where men have to be something. It's a space where men can be anything as long as that thing isn't crap. As long as the thing you are isn't shit, you can do or be whatever you want. This is one of the reasons why I really promote like discipline and self-help to you guys, because I do not stand for this lefty bullshit of like, you know, oh yeah, whether or not you want to have a good sleep schedule and eat a decent diet and get exercise is your choice. No, fuck you. I mean, it is your choice, but like it's good for you and you should do it because it's good for you. And things that are good for you interpersonally are good for us, the body politic, okay? The fact that fascists have a monopoly on that line of thinking is so stupid to me. Why? Like, it's like they understand, seemingly, that discipline is socially valuable. It's one of the reasons why I really don't like all the memes where people are basically bragging about their mental illnesses on social media, because none of that shit is making you feel any better. None of the mental illnesses that are present in people on the left are getting improved by like posting, oh, I'm so dysfunctional, I'm so blah, blah, blah. Like, I know you're all trying to relate to your other mentally ill friends, but you're all enabling each other. You're making no effort to improve your circumstances. You are just reveling in your in real or imagined conditions that you might have. You're fetishizing them, you're aesthetizing them, you're making them a part of your identity. And I look, I don't have a problem with being open if you have a mental illness. Obviously, I talk about mine, but I feel like it goes beyond being open and starts being like a celebration, which I don't agree with, because if they're termed mental illnesses, they are bad for you. And the celebration thing, like, you shouldn't be. Like, you should be working. What if you're going to like share that stuff? Why not like try to form solidarity around getting out of that? I see lots of people who post memes where the point of the meme is, I'm so depressed, look at my depression, wow, wow, wow. But never memes of, I'm going to work my best to get out of depression. What about you? Why don't I see that? In some cases, that would be a cry for help, right? It's never used as a cry for help. It's literally, like, you can see this all over the place on Twitter. And most of it is from the left. And it's literally just like people who are neuroatypical reveling in it as a kind of identifier, aesthetic / excuse for why they are the way they are. And it's like cool. It's like, haha, it's cool. Wow, I'm so ill. I'm so schizo, whatever. That sounds like forcing shit on progressive men or progressive leaning men is just doing what the far right does. I'm not forcing you to do anything, but you should be getting a proper sleep schedule, okay? You should be eating well and you should be exercising, all right? While being strong is cool and all, I'd rather be about freedom and fighting for a better world. You can't fight if you're not strong. You think any of you motherfuckers are going to be revolutionaries when you can barely order a pizza? I agree that like freedom is important here, but discipline is freedom. The ability to get things done, the ability to get your life in order and structure yourself in a way that makes you strong, that is freedom. Freedom is meaningless if you're incapable of acting on your desires. Yes, take vitamin D3 and C. That's true. That's true. Yeah, 100%. The wallowing. I hate the wallowing. You have trouble sleeping? That's true. I do have trouble sleeping. Yes. I'm not saying I'm a perfect avatar of these positions, but I fully stand by them. And trust me, Vermin will agree to this. I give myself plenty of shit for the sleep schedule thing. I'm suffering plenty, and a lot of it is self-inflicted. And that's good, because I would rather give myself shit for a bad habit than I would enable it eternally. Have you tried melatonin? No, we're not talking about me right now. Vaush, you're depressed, pull yourself up by your bootstraps? Yes! What do you think you do to get out of depression? Lay in bed and cry? Yeah, it does take effort to get out of depression. Yes, that is true. Nobody else can do it for you. Vaush, I've had multiple people in my life introduce themselves with their anxiety only preceded by their name. It feels like a lefty greeting. It's so strange. Yeah, if you ever meet me, I never want to hear about your mental illnesses. I don't care. I do not care. I will never care. Okay? I will never care. It's your business, not mine. Stop sharing that shit with me. Vaush, you undersell your autism quite a lot, so I was shocked when you rant about how you hate planes due to autism. Dude, the number one thing that I hate about internet online leftist culture or whatever is the fact that I now say that I'm autistic. I hate that shit so much. I used to say, oh, this is autistic, that is autistic, as like a joke entirely, but now sometimes I'll be like, oh, well, I have autism, so, and I hate that. I hate that tendency. I never used to do that. I've known that I've been autistic like my entire life. I never used to do that. But people have so normalized sharing. I hate it so much. Normalize sharing less. Tell people less about yourself, especially online. Your followers who follow you because you repost memes on your Twitter account do not need your memes to be interspersed with breakdown vent posts about how sad you are, okay? Doing so does not make you feel better. I'm looking at you. No, it doesn't. If you have real friends to talk to, you can talk to those. Your random Twitter followers, they're just an empty void to scream into. You do not feel better after it. They are not your diary. I think you're being too harsh. It's okay to be human and vulnerable. Not to random nobodies. No, well, you can be human to random nobodies. But no, I don't think it's good to normalize, like, being super vulnerable by vent posting to a bunch of people who don't care. You know they don't care, right? You know guys, you realize that you have to have a mutually invested relationship with somebody before they will give a single shit about you, right? If you have a bunch of random Twitter followers and you're just like vent posting about how shit things are or how mentally ill you are, you know they don't care. You know you're just adding to their own mental illnesses, right? Because it's the left, so everyone here is depression, anxiety. They read that shit and they think, wow, so it's everyone else too, huh? They're not thinking like, oh my God, it's you. Because they don't know you. Because you don't know them. Why would they care? If you have friends, talk to your friends. Stop substituting stuff that is meant for actual relationships with the anonymity and comfort blanket of internet followers, okay? Stop doing that. I hide tons of shit from you people. You're not my friends. Well, some of you are. I see Vermin in chat. But you guys aren't my friends. I don't come here and vent to you about my emotions. I suck it up. I've had plenty of personal problems, fights, disagreements, inconveniences, bad mental health days, and I come on here and I do my shit, and I could be talking to hundreds of thousands of people every time about how I feel, and I don't, because you're not my friend, and it would bring me no joy or satisfaction to share that information, and it would not enrich your life. The only thing you would get is a come-down-to-earth feeling of being reminded of the fact that I'm human too, which doesn't benefit me for you to hear that, by the way. You should have known that to begin with, you stupid piece of shit. And it doesn't benefit me because none of you are capable of reciprocating with any sort of meaningful emotional feedback because, again, I don't know you. I'm not telling you to keep it to yourself. I'm telling you to keep it to your friends, to people who care about you. Vermin makes a good point. Don't do it too much to your friends, though. They're not your therapists. Honest to God, like, you should not need to vent 24/7. It doesn't benefit you, even to your friends. If you're depressive, like, do you really feel better? Like, I'm not saying you have like a 10-minute, like, oh, here's how I feel. I mean, there are people who will spend like an hour every day typing out how miserable they feel to a friend, burdening them with their shitty emotions, okay? Do you feel better after that? No, you don't. Don't lie to me. You may think you do, but that's only because you're trying to remind yourself that other people pay attention to you, which, by the way, they don't. Your friend isn't reading all those messages. They're reading the broad gist of them, then responding as best they can because you're putting an unfair burden on them, okay? Discipline, self-reliance, friendship, temperance. You will learn these things, and you will be better for it, okay? I promise you the world of mental health was not improved through the invention of Discord vent channels. That was not a psychiatric breakthrough that therapeutic organizations the world around celebrated. They were not all cheering and throwing their hats up in the air. Thank God. You know, we had our suggestions, but now, finally, we have Discord vent channels, and everything is better now. That's not what happened. Nobody did that. Who are you subtweeting? Vaush, drop the ad. I'm taking on it's the whole online left right now. I'm actually not subtweeting anyone. Those people also never let others vent back to them. Yeah, you ever had one of these dumb, depressive bitches vent at you, and then you're like, oh, can I tell you about my day? And they're like, okay. And then you type out 3 sentences, and they take 42 minutes to respond, and when they do, they're like, that sucks. F you. F you. F you, you stupid piece of shit. I know there are literally dozens of people like you in chat right now. You guys specifically. No wonder you don't have actual direct friends to vent to. No, sorry. That's not, it's kind of mean. No, you know what? Yeah, no, f you. If you do that, no wonder you have difficulty making friends. Oh my God. Friendship requires mutual investment. You realize that, right? Put effort in. You know how taxing it is to have a depressive person vent at you, and knowing that you're literally like having a depressive person vent at you is like doing a bomb defusal where you're trying not to cut the suicide wire. And you're doing that shit to other people who you claim them to be your friends, and then like you do nothing for them. You do nothing. I feel so guilty. Don't feel guilty, little Pearl Gray or Gray Pearl. Feel motivated to not do it, okay? Guilt is a useless emotion. It burdens you. It's worthless. I've never felt guilt for anything in my life. If you disagree with something that you've done, all you can do is change it. If there are people to whom you need to apologize, apologize them. If there's behavior you want to fix, fix it. Guilt is nothing. What happened in the past cannot be undone, and it also can't be repeated. Only you can change the future, okay? Go for it. Do it. Be motivated. Do not feel guilty for what you have done to your friends. Feel gracious for gifting them the new you. But guilt is the thing that motivates? No, it isn't. All guilt does is detract. All guilt does is make you wallow. Guilt never motivates anyone under any circumstances. What motivates you is a principled understanding that you could be doing better. All guilt does is cause people to wallow and repeat negative behaviors because they think they're not capable of improving themselves. Guilt is a perfectly useless emotion. It is worthless. It is vestigial. It does not help. That's true, DM. 100%. Thoughts on depression/suicidal culture? What the fuck is depression/suicidal culture? There shouldn't be a culture. Listen, okay, wait. I might get in some flack for this thing. If you're depressive, I think you should not talk to depressive people. I think you should talk to non-depressive, sympathetic people. Depressive people with other depressive people just causes a feedback loop where all you do is share negativity with negativity, get responded with negativity, and feel worse. None of you are in an emotional state to help other people, so you're probably not in a position to be like deliberately positioning yourself that way. You should try to find uplifting people. Uplifting people are a gift from God to all of us. People with energy and positivity, you should spend as much time as possible with them. Obviously, you shouldn't, like, I don't know, cling on to them like a desperate roach, but you should, like, you know, try to surround yourself with people who kind of make you feel like life is kind of banging, actually. But they have to be sympathetic. Obviously, if they're just kind of blithely positive, like not, they don't care, like they don't listen to you. Like, I'm not talking that. I'm talking, you know, good sympathetic people, people worthy of being friends with, but they're positive. Because if you just create a like depressive circle jerk, what are you offering each other? I don't know. That's not to say you should always avoid other depressive people. Like, you shouldn't like drop friends if they're depressive because you're depressive like that. I'm not saying like you blow up your entire social group here. I'm just saying, you know, I feel like you should make an effort to be in the company of people who have like some energy that, you know, maybe if you get along with them, they can lend you a little bit of enthusiasm for life. Vaush, what is group therapy? Group therapy is structured. Group therapy is structured with a therapist who is there to direct and control engagements. And there is a reason for that. Also, group therapy only works if you want it. Well, yeah, I mean, I've never been to group therapy. I know a little bit about it, but I do know that you absolutely need the structure of a therapist there. Otherwise, it would go quite poorly. Group therapy was so good for me. I'm glad. I'm not dissing group therapy at all. So black pill forums and channels are a negative feedback loop. Yeah. Have you seen all the like suicidal black pill incel forums? Like, they're all rising up together. Like, their depressive tendencies cancel out and they all like elevate and become giga chads who are super confident. Not really. Vaush, even if you're trying to do good, it does come off a bit aggressive. Good. I am aggressive. I'll yell at you to your face. Hey, I'm DMing you my home address right now. Okay? There. I'll yell at your face. I don't care. Besides, you people need to be yelled at because a lot of you are infantile children who are incapable of managing even the most basic elements of self-care. Every day I go on Twitter and every day I'm reminded that I am, yes, indeed, in my late 20s because I see people who are older than me who have no idea how to structure their lives. And I'm not even talking about something that pertains to my fame or my wealth. I'm talking about like very basic, like human, you know what this is? This is because of the term adulting. I hate the term adulting. You know, the concept of an adult, like a modern conceptualization of what it means to be an adult, wasn't really a thing for most of human history. That was because after you hit puberty and you were strong enough to use some kind of farm implement, congratulations, you now get to work. Whether or not you're an adult, there wasn't a line. It was just like, you can work, you do work. You have responsibility, congratulations. There was no adulting, because the moment you had the opportunity to do those things, you had to, or you'd all starve in the winter. So nowadays, it's like, you've people in their late 20s and their 30s who are talking about how hard it is to go get groceries. It's not hard. It's very easy. It can be expensive, but that's a separate problem. Living can be hard, but that's a separate thing. Getting groceries isn't hard. Shut the fuck up. Are you doing it poorly? And then, invariably you see the kind of groceries they get and it makes you want to shoot yourself. Buy rice and beans. You know how good rice and beans can taste if you know how to make them? Do you have any idea how much you can do with that? Buy spices. You get spices. They're good for you in the sense that they make you happy, which is good for your mental health. Make hummus. That's more advanced. The issue is not the groceries, but the mental effort around it, but they should work on it regardless. It does take a lot of mental effort to do simple things sometimes. The problem that I have is that the mental effort it takes is being multiplied by what I'm calling the retard factor, or perhaps the adult baby man-child factor, where people, in addition to being depressive, have no idea how to structure or order their lives. This is the critical difference, okay? I get depressive. I have bipolar disorder. That means that sometimes I have manic depressive episodes. They used to be really bad, but now I'm on lithium. Now they're only mostly bad. And when I'm feeling very depressive, I'm not very productive. But in the brief moments of lucidity that I can manage even while feeling depressive, I'm more productive in 1 hour than a lot of you stupid pieces of shit are in a goddamn day, even when I'm feeling depressive. And do you know why? It's because in addition to being depressive, I'm also a adult. And I know how to go, okay, as long as I can, this, do it. Go, listen to a podcast while I do it. Kablamo, work done. But I see a lot of people, in addition to being depressive, have no idea how to structure their behavior or be productive. And for that reason, it gets way harder. This is what I mean when I say discipline is freedom. When you're feeling depressive, discipline is what lets you get your chores done in 1 hour instead of 4. Discipline is what lets you take care of everything you need to do in the house so you have free time, rather than having the mental burden of future work weighing on you the entire time that you're sitting there doing nothing. This isn't just an executive dysfunction versus function thing. The executive dysfunction thing is a product of mental illness, and it's its own issue, and it's serious. But when you have moments of mental function, do yourself the favor of taking them seriously and effectively using them. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I'm not saying just be mental function. I'm saying when you have that mental function, you owe it to yourself to structure that time and energy you do have in a way that allows you to actually get stuff done, because that'll make you feel better, and it'll make you more likely to get out of your depressive spell, because being productive is biologically something that gets people out of depressive spells. The serotonin you get when you set a task in your mind and you complete it is something that can be very effective at building the steps up to help you out of a depressive episode. But in order to do that, you can't just have the energy to do the work. You have to know how to do the work well. Also, go to the gym. So now he's a scientist? Yes. Is ADHD a mental illness? No. Vaush, I can't do that. I'm literally disabled. This is not a good faith argument. That's crazy, bro. I don't care. Because as we previously established, I'm not friends with you. If you can't do what I'm talking about right now, what do you think I'm saying exactly? What claim do you think I'm making? I'm saying learn how to be productive and disciplined so you can take advantage of your periods of mental functionality. You can't do that? How disabled are you? And if you're that disabled, by the way, then why wouldn't you just assume the advice I'm offering doesn't apply to you? If I were talking about, like, good advice for how to get a fat ass, make sure to clench your cheeks when you're walking up the steps, and you're like, bro, I'm in a wheelchair. This isn't good faith. What do you mean? Most people aren't in wheelchairs. Why resent me for being right? Yes, ADHD is a mental illness. Isn't it considered like a condition or something, not a mental illness? I thought there was like a different term or something. It's a disorder. It's a spectrum. Okay, there's like 17 different words being thrown out there. Neurodiver. Yeah. Does Vaush get off to yelling at chat? Yes. It's only that you gave your argument as half moral prescriptivism and then supported it by labeling the group mentally ill when it's really just chronically online chatters with anxiety. chronically online chatters with anxiety are definitionally mentally ill, and there are lots of them. I think Vaush is saying it's not fair to complain / vent about your mental illness. Well, first of all, I don't think you should vent about your mental illness like ever. Venting, I can think of very few instances where venting is a good thing to do. Complaining is another thing, but again, you should do it with friends while not even trying to take steps towards improving your mental health either. It's not just a matter of like taking those steps. Like, you owe it to yourself to do things that are likely to help your mental state. The longer I do this, the less respect that I have, I think, for people who are opposed to that. I really, really dislike the aestheticization of mental illness, okay? Stop posting Twitter memes about how you're so anxious or whatever, you can't do this, that, the other, or about how you're depressive. Nobody cares. They don't care. Stop it. Don't do it. Stop, okay? We're all so countercultural when memes about being like a super like depressive, suicidal, anxiety ridden Patrick Bateman whatever get 100,000 likes every time they get posted. Oh yeah, we're all like, it's such an aesthetic now, you know. Don't even get me started in the TikTok. No, I will get started in the TikTok thing. I'm not even getting into the alters or the whatever the else, okay? It is so obviously an aesthetic in some portions of TikTok to play out your mental illness for the purpose of getting validation to people online, okay? That's so weird. Stop, okay? Please, stop. It has nothing to do with whether or not you're faking it, even though a lot of them are, obviously, which is the case with literally any social trend. It's not even the matter of like whether or not it's annoying, which it is. It's just a matter of, if it's an illness, you don't want to have it. Stop making it a part of your character. You don't have to live like that your entire life. Why? Like, Jesus, you like, we're like normalizing this culture, man. Attention-seeking behavior. I do attention-seeking behavior, but I do it about stuff that isn't that bad. Well, sometimes. Vaush being a smug is making me want a Fed post. Damn, that's crazy. Then you must want a Fed post literally all the time, every stream, because I'm always like this. Everyone, there's nothing that I love more than people being like, I can't stand it when Vaush acts like Sites thing I'm always doing all the time. Like, what do you mean? The other day, Vaush, you seem a little arrogant. This is what I mean. Okay, wait, you know, Dream Canoe, you're baiting. But the other day, somebody was like, I just can't stand, because we were talking about AI art. And somebody in chat was like, I just can't stand it how when you disagree with Vaush, you're wrong and he's right. It's just so arrogant. Well, welcome to Vaush.gg and also youtube.com/c/Vaush. You're just mad because it's targeting you now.